Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Mandrago's Cave. Today we are going to be talking about One Piece chapter 1174 while drawing Ripley. I guess you have seen the miniature, so we have Ripley's drawing there. Why I am picking Ripley? There is two main points in this episode, okay? For me they are both very important, very emotional, very surprising, and obviously this video is gonna be full of spoilers, so as well I want to draw her here so you don't see the other type of spoiler that we're gonna be talking here today. But I had to make a choice. I think I want to wait until do the other big thing from this chapter in another episode, in another drawing, because clarity, to see a better design of the full character. Okay, so I'm talking about 1174, the strongest being in this world. So we have this space more or less to work. Okay, I think we can draw with the red today to see how it's gonna be. I think Ripley is gonna be some sort of redhead, ginger, or a little bit like Nami, or pink like Shirahoshi as well, like orange. I think Oda is gonna play with these tones with her. I don't know why. Probably because the line that she has on the face, the tattoo, maybe it gives me the impression that is gonna be like that. So I'm gonna try. I don't normally draw girls. Well, I have plenty of girls drawn here in the channel, but it is not something that is my forte, let's say. Normally I enjoy more to draw bulky characters like Beasta, Hosu, and characters like this that they are big and they are funny, and I can do mistakes. I can draw silly and big, and they work because it's accompanying the whole design. But let's see what we do with Ripley. Obviously, maybe I go for a little bit more comic-y than normally Oda does, but we will see what's gonna happen here. Okay, so we start the episode and we have an image of Goldie Roger taming a T-Rex and using it as, like, you know, when you are walking your dog, for example, on the street or something like this. I think, and I've been saying for some time now, that I think Oda gave up in drawing Gold Roger and now he's just drawing Ace with mustache. I understand all the parenthood concept, all the family concept that Oda has been going, and since the flashback that we had with Rocks and everything, we are seeing more and more the resemblance. Okay, so if I had doubts before in the past of maybe Ace ends up not being the son of Roger, with these drawings that Oda is doing lately, I think this kind of thought is getting dissipated, in my opinion. Okay, I want to know your opinion as well about this. What do you think about Gold Roger's design? For me, I like more the original design. It looks more pirate, more dangerous, more, let's say, unexpected. You don't know what he's gonna do, and that is dangerous. I think that's how I picture him, and because I am, you know, reading One Piece for many years now, I think I prefer most of the characters from the pre-time skip. So this is one of those designs that, for me, I prefer the old one. Okay, we start the episode and we are continuing where we started. We have this terrible situation where the ship that was to take the kids outside of Elbaf has been destroyed by this kind of attack between the giants. The fake Nika fell, and Summers threw him as well. I thought the fake Nika fell on top of Summers, but what he does is basically he kicks him out with one of his weapons and he throws him in the distance. Interesting, because he could have died there, you know, he could have been eliminated there, and because he's bad, and everyone would have been happy, but it is what it is. So he's stressed about it, he is upset about it, he sees that there is a hole in the clouds, and because of this, everyone now can fall underneath, and that is not gonna be good for his, let's say, reputation, his position, his performance in this job that he's doing for Imo. Okay, let's keep drawing a little bit this scene, because we have here column as well. Here Ripley is hugging column here, so we need to do the helmet, and the hand is here. We position the hands here. So he is basically talking about stopping the arrow. He cannot stop the arrows because that is Gungo's power, and because Gungo is being controlled by Imo, obviously she's not responding. So there is no way for him to undo the arrow power. And because the kids are as well wrapped in his power, this is gonna be one of those things that it needs to follow the course. The kids now, he decides that they are good to die, so he's looking at the giants, at the family of the kids, how they are trying to free them unsuccessfully. He is very happy, he is very silly, he's very let's say disturbing. He's enjoying, he's being a terribito basically. He's enjoying this pain, this suffering, that because the situation is so bad, this is causing to the families and everything. That is bad. We see how Saint Summers as well, and I say it in the previous episode, since we had the flashback with Rox, I think that was to give us the understanding that he's gonna have a very ugly ending here, or he's gonna fall from the top of the tree, or he's gonna be, I don't know, smashed by something very big, like maybe part of the tree is gonna fall on him, or something very big is gonna fall on him and destroy him, or it's gonna eat him. I think Oda is creating in us this disgust towards this character, and specifically I already felt like this when I saw the other side of the story with the flashback with Shaki, all the story that happens with Shaki, with Gaban and everything, and the concept of having her captured there. But I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what's going to be the ending of this man. He is going crazy. He's being like, when Usopp is joking and when Usopp is impersonating someone, and he goes very cartoony and very comic-y, and it is ugly, okay? So the story carries on. There is a little bit of tension because we are getting closer and closer. This is the climax of the story, and we know that with One Piece we always have this like in Arabasta when the bomb was gonna explode. This let's say countdown, like the bomb is gonna explode and we need to run, and the cage is gonna close. Here the kids are gonna fall, and slowly we are building into this by seeing them how they walk. Like 80%, 85%, or almost 90% of the episode is just about the kids walking, the conversation, the discourse that we have with Summers, and the corruption in this character. We see even a scene, a moment where Killingham is there as well. From afar, he is looking at the situation, and he is not happy. We see that he is not as bad as the other guy. We see that he is basically not, let's say, not sharing the opinion that Summers is doing. So it's like more like a cheeky character, this Summers. So I'm interested to see how he's gonna end up dying basically here in this story, because I don't think we're gonna get out of Elbaf without him suffering a lot. Oimo is one of the important parts of the story here. Last week was revealed that he is one of the grandpas from the kids. He's as well trying to save all of them. He's hugging them unsuccessfully. He said, I'm ready to lose my limbs and everything. So he is committed to die here. I like to see all the school characters. I need to see them every now and then because I think it keeps me grounded in the story. When we have so many new characters like Ripley, for example, that we met just quite recently, it's more difficult to attach yourself to the characters. But by including characters like Oimo, for example, you feel more familiar with the situation and more emotional. This episode has been very emotional for me, or in my opinion. Like, I've been reading it and I was very emotional about it. I haven't felt emotional in One Piece for a very, very, very long time. I don't know what happens in that other side of the screen with you while you are reading the episodes, but for me, so far I was just, reading the episodes. Okay, a lot of action is happening, a lot of things are happening, but nothing like I would say, oh my god, it's making me feel like this sadness or this frustration as well. Now with all of this story with the kids, we've seen Oimo, we've seen Ripley, and we've seen what is happening now that we're talking now about the kids being on a cliff and almost gonna die. It was very shocking. So we continue with the pages, and what happens is that as we get closer and closer, the kids start to doubt themselves. So they start finding their failings, let's say, their failures in life, let's say, the things that they didn't behave as good boys, good girls, for example, and they start punishing themselves, like trying to justify why they are having this end, basically, why they are gonna die in this form, in this shape. And it is something very realistic when you are in a low moment of your life, and especially more when you are a kid, that you don't understand certain things. You may think that maybe someone got upset or someone, something happened, and you may think that this is because of you. It is your fault, and we need to understand that when you grow up, obviously, this happens at all ages. At all ages, we have this kind of sentimental crisis or existential crisis or sense of guilty. We always have this situation, but it is nice to see how the kids are being quite mature for what they are here, because they are quite young, and they start regretting all these bad situations. They want to behave better, they're gonna fall, everything is in a drawing that you see the calamity of the situation, how disastrous everything is gonna be, how big the jump is gonna be. Summer is very excited, very happy, and then we start seeing a couple of memories. This is typical Oda. Then you start seeing how Column is interacting with the mother, talking about toys and things, and other kids, how they are arguing about doing the homework or behaving or doing all these things. So there, I started while reading. I started to get a little bit emotional. Very nice, I have to say. I missed this feeling in One Piece. Let's do. For me, there are certain moments in One Piece, like for example, when all the story about Shushu happens, when the story with Nami and Arlong happens, that Nami is crying, saying, "Luffy, help me." When Ikite, I want to leave from Nico Robin. When Sanji is saying goodbye from the Baratier as well. There are so many situations that, in my opinion, most of them, or almost, I will say all of them, basically, pre-time skip. Now it's more fight. I like it as well, but I missed this kind of episode, this type of chapter that makes you a little bit cry, and I like it. So there are. I wanna know if you felt as well the same, or if there are other moments like here in One Piece that you felt like this, that maybe for me were more normal or standard, and yeah, you never know what is gonna kind of affect you in the terms of emotion in One Piece or in any kind of a story, but this in particular was something very shocking for me. I wasn't expecting. Like, I was reading, I was like, oh my god, what's going on? And like, I'm getting very sad. So we see the kids crying. There's just a couple of steps before the first one at this column is gonna fall, and then this scene that I'm drawing now happens, and we see Mom, we see Ripley reaching out to the sun. This is Scopper Gavan son as well. Okay, he He's being hugged by the mother. The mother is full of blood with thorns of this Saint Summer's power with the vine, and she seems unaffected, like her power of love, as Sanji would say, is overcoming here all the pain and all the frustration. She's just accepting that she cannot save the kid or any of the kids there, like the rest of the parents, and she decides, like, I am not gonna let you die alone, so I am gonna die here with you as well. So she hugs him, and as she hugs him, obviously they are not stopping. This is gonna be more explained, or a little bit more visually explained, when we have the anime, because in the anime you will see how they are like robots, walking non-stop, pushing the bigger guys, the parents that are ginormous, pushing them because they cannot stop, because the power of the arrow. So this happens. She's very happy. She's doing a face like when Luffy is gonna die in Lockdown, and Buggy is gonna cut his head. She smiles like a D, like a good D, because now we know that Elbaf is of the D. They used to help D, and she's ready. So she accepts the fate. Very, very emotional. So there is this very nice panel of all of them, like Ripley is starting to fall. All of them, we see like the rest of the parents had the same approach to the situation. They are not going to allow their kids to die, so they are hugging them all one after another, and they start to fall one after another. Everyone is crying. We see Ronya, that Ronya is a character that, surprisingly as well, like 10 episodes ago, Oda gave her a little bit of main character vibes, with having some important sentences and important points to make in the story, and she was willing to sacrifice herself for the sake of Elbaf, and that is very interesting. I enjoyed a lot the importance of this other character, like out of the blue. It wasn't something like it's gonna be given to, I don't know, Nami, Usopp, Chopper. This is a random character, a kid, and it made you emotional as well. I like how Oda is playing the kid's role in this saga, because at the end of the day, even if they are kids, they are warriors of Elbaf as well, and that is very important. So I like how the sentiment is playing here and how the emotion is playing here. So all of them start to fall. Saint Summers is laughing and laughing like crazy. We see one of the kids, Joanna, that Joanna has no parents. We don't know why, it's not been explained, but we have a hint of this as well when the kids are introduced. When all of this kidnapping starts in Elbaf, we see some of these hints happening already. So there is a character, an expected character, who ran because she was tied together with Jinbe, Nami, etc., with Usopp's group, and she ran and she disappeared, and we didn't know why or how or when, and she ran like crazy. That's what Jinbe says in the previous episode, in 73, and this happens to be the teacher, and the librarian and teacher, and this was good. This was good. The role of the teachers in our society doesn't matter if you are Japanese, because this story is obviously from Oda's experiences and he is from Japan, but doesn't matter. But the teachers are a very important figure in the life of a kid. They are gonna start to help you to grow, to understand the world, to learn concepts, they are going to be with you a big chunk of your life, more even if you are, studying, and then you decide to go to university and do masters and do degrees and do everything. So you are going to have like mentors, guides, and sometimes you will see in your class that a kid is going to call the lecturer or the teacher, "Oh, mom, I have a question," and everyone will laugh. "Oh, haha, you called the teacher mom, blah, blah, blah." And this is because sometimes we go into this state of feeling comfortable or feeling safe with them. That is how it should be. Okay. Here, Ange Sensei. This is how the protection and the care and the love from a lecturer, from a teacher, from someone that in this case she is responsible for the kids, okay, should be. This made me very emotional as well, because I'm a teacher as well, I'm a lecturer as well, and when you have every year your group of students, you connect with them at a level that is very important. You know, when you are a good teacher, you don't actually forget when the kids finish the course and they leave, or they pass into another class with another lecturer. You don't forget them, okay? So even afterwards, you will be walking around or doing your shopping in the supermarket, and you see them and everything, and you stop and talk with them. How is everything? And they ask you questions, and how are you as well? And that is very beautiful. If the whole concept with Ripley already made me emotional, then I saw Ange and it made me even more emotional. And then we saw the last kid that is gonna as well fall, that is the last one left on the queue, that is Bjorn. And Bjorn has been confirmed as well to be brother of one of Jarondin's guys, that is Rode. Rode as well went like crazy, running as soon as we knew that he was a brother of one of the kidnapped kids. He disappeared, and then is when I said in one of the previous episodes, I said, okay, so we are gonna start separating all of them. That's gonna be interesting. This is what normally happens in One Piece. But to be such a misfit, such a funny guy in his own way, and at the same time, because remember that we introduced Elbaf through Road as a bad guy, as a guy kidnapping as well people that is arriving into Elbaf and using them as his toys, basically, dressing them up, playing with them and everything, and basically torturing them in the sense of, there is like this cat, there is these animals there that they are going to play with them like they are little mouse. That is not good. So he has a problem. But Oda is making him good now. He's making him like a redemption, a little bit of redemption with this kind of situation. I like it. I don't see the point yet of the Lego part of the story at the beginning, more than now. When you now are gonna do this with him, that you are gonna make him a little bit of big brother, important character, sacrificing yourself for your brother as well, jumping off the cliff, because this is what happens now. So he is as well now falling. I don't understand then why would we have this whole concept about the Lego there if you don't want to keep him as a bad guy. But I guess we need to keep reading, we need to keep watching what's going to happen here, and enjoying the story. I guess when we have all of it, obviously I want to read all fresh, I want to read all one after another together to understand better everything that is happening here. There are things that I may be forgetting, there are things that I may be that may be not that obvious for me, but yeah, I want to know your opinion as well about that part of the saga, that part of the arc, so this Lego thing, and yeah, because I don't know where it fits exactly, this part. I wasn't expecting him at all to be connected to Jarondin. I wasn't expecting him at all to be now good. I wasn't expecting him to be a brother of one of the kids. So Oda is full of surprises, and I love it. I love that. Because it keeps me thinking, it keeps me making more theories, more ideas, and now, I read the episode, I do the videos and everything, but, during the day and everything, I'm thinking, so why is this happening? Like, at the level of storytelling, at the level of world building, what is the meaning of this? Oda is very good at putting together things in the terms of explaining something maybe today, and in 10 years time or in 5 years time he's going to give you a reason about this. Okay, I don't think we are going to have 5 or 10 years more of One Piece. I think in a couple of years more, as he's confirmed already quite recently, we're going to be finishing. Maybe, you know, Elbaf, a little bit of Laugh Tale, a little bit of going to Marijua and having the final fights and everything, and you know, then finding the One Piece. That's it, you know, that's just a couple of sagas. One saga can be like so very small, other sagas can be more extensive, but we are at the end of the story. So this is the end of One Piece, and everything needs to fit. That's why you are seeing now a little bit of characters from the past, from the pre-time skip, so you situate them in the map, in the world map. What are they doing? Why are they doing this? And at the very end, obviously, we're going to have all these big guys from the beginning, like Crocodile, blah, blah, blah. All of these guys, Mihawk, needs to be at the end of the story as well, okay? In the end game to see, because those are the characters that we love. Saint Summers, like for example, now that he's here mocking and everything, that he's disgusting, he's not an end game character, so he's going to be defeated now, proper, and that's it. Or someone else, like some of the revolutionaries are going to be defeating him, and that's it. But yeah, so they fall, he laughs like crazy, and then suddenly, straight away, unexpected as well, there is like a silhouette, like a darkness silhouette, we don't know what is it, and a white patch, like a snow patch, and we see a bunch of people there. So these are the kids. These are the kids. No one died, they fell, it's like a cushion there, and all of them are alive. So there is someone talking about, oh, you fell on me, ha ha ha, just get out of me because you are a beam, you're a little bit prickly here, and that happens to be Luffy. So Luffy, why was he stretched like this? We don't know. Maybe he was in balloon form and they fell on top of him, because they are very heavy, they just squashed him a little bit. I don't know why he will be stretched there, but maybe there's going to be an explanation as well. We see a very ominous eye. And this eye is part of the silhouette that is flying. This is Loki. And Luffy is riding on top of him like when he was doing with Momo. We suggested here he could be multiple characters, the Fenrir, the Nidhogg, and etc. from Norse mythology, connecting some of the mythology to the One Piece mythology that we are seeing, because Oda is mixing things. So I was betting he was gonna be Fenrir. I had a mistake there, so Oda corrected me. This silhouette happens to be, so there is something big coming out, the ground floor, the floor, the full forest, the castle is trembling, everything is falling, so this is gonna be ginormous. It said in the title that this is the strongest of them all, so this is confirmation of Oda saying there is no other character at the moment in the story stronger than Loki, basically. So something comes out from the forest, and this is a dragon, this is a Nidhogg, this is in Norse mythology the type of the horns and everything that is the same horns that Loki has. This is like a, I would say like a dark dragon design. I am not sure how it's gonna be regarding the color scheme, okay? Because let's paint this in red already. Because what is happening here is that we see all black. The belly seems to be white. He has the tongue like in his signature face, laughing and everything. Luffy is ginormous here, so probably Luffy is already in giant size. The dragon has the cape as well around him, some sort of spikes. This is obviously a Oda interpretation of the Nidhogg. The Nidhogg is a dragon type of monster, like a worm, like a ginormous worm in Norse mythology that is located at the roots of the Yggdrasil tree. The Yggdrasil tree is the one holding all the realms, all the worlds in Norse mythology, okay? Like Asgard, Midgard, etc., etc., etc. So we talk about this many times. We talk about many times about this concept of the Adam tree in One Piece, representing obviously this in Norse mythology. Okay, we have as well mention the concept of Ratatosk. Ratatosk, that is the hammer in this story. Ratatosk in the Norse mythology story is a squirrel who will move up and down on the tree and will be pinching, bothering, you know, and creating chaos between this nidhogg, this worm, this dragon at the bottom of the tree on the roots, that is eating the roots, and a eagle, a ginormous eagle at the very top of the tree. Okay? In that eagle, between the eyes of the eagle, there is a hawk in Norse mythology as well. Okay? So, Oda is rephrasing, like he always does, all the mythology in Norse mythology, and I like it. I like it so far. I like everything that is going on here. I think it's very creative, very interesting. I always loved Oda's way of reinterpreting the reality or reinterpreting the stories that we have in, you know, in different cultures, and that is something that I find very interesting as a storyteller. I want to know your opinion as well. I want to know if you know some things about Norse mythology, if you want to open debate about some other myths or topics related to this that you may have found, and we can chat in the comment section there. It will be very interesting. From the whole time that I've seen Loki, the introduction, similar to Soros' introduction, I said Loki was going to be a good guy, and there we have Loki facing the enemies, partnership with Luffy, now saving all the giants, that he's going to save all the giants. I have a link here of my drawing of Kid Loki while explaining why he is good, why there are some points at the beginning of his introduction that makes us see the potential of this character being a good guy. So I put that one there so you can actually have a look, okay? So let's do the drawing. Today I'm talking more than drawing, but it's okay. There's been a lot of things happening in the story, so we need to talk about everything, okay? So we have the arm here for Ripley. And then we need to do this part as well. That is the hand. Okay, so these, all of these thorns here, like there's like a vine here, like a vine. And these are Summer's powers. Here they are wrapping around the kid. And obviously, we've seen it multiple times that this is piercing you and creating this unbearable pain if you try to save the kids. That's why Oimo, just by grabbing, just by trying to save his granddaughter, he goes to the floor all bloody. So here Ripley is being the boss, you know, handling this. There is this kind of, there is this concept of, you know, when you are a mom and your kids are in danger, you kind of bring superpowers into you, and everything becomes irrelevant. So you just want to save the kids. I don't have kids myself, so this is something that I don't know, but as well, if you have kids and you have this feeling and you will do anything for them as well, and you want to write how you feel about this scene that is very emotional, I guess it's hitting harder to a reader with a family, in the sense of you have 1 or 2 kids maybe, or, you know, more, and maybe you are putting yourself in Ripley's situation, that you are seeing your kids that are going to fall, and then what will you do? And maybe you will do the same like Ripley, you know. So maybe that's be even more emotional for you than for me, that I cannot experience that yet. So it's very interesting. Sometimes, you know, this man surprises me all the time. Like sometimes this is difficult to comprehend, you know, as a normal person, when you are seeing this mastery of storytelling, when you are touching topics of about everything, you know, religion, politics, and racism, discrimination, kidnapping in this case, for example, sadness, problems with the families, you know, finding some radical people, some crazy people like Summers as well. That is very, very good storytelling and very, very good writing. So Oda, good job, good job, because I think you are getting better and better and better with the years, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this whole story. I always say it here in the channel, and I will say it always, that One Piece is my favorite story ever. I read, watch, and I'm interested in multiple topics within, fantasy, mythologies, and all these things. Like, for example, I like as well a lot Lord of the Rings, other mangas, other stories, other graphic novels, movies, series, books. I love them. But in One Piece, you have a little bit of everything. This is very nicely built. So let's talk a little bit now about here what we are drawing at the moment. Okay, we have, this is like a belt, what we have for Ripley. And most of the drawing is gonna be here, this cloak that she's wearing. Okay, like this, and then we do the leg. Like this, with these boots from the Vikings and everything. Okay, good. And she's wearing like this, like Nami, some sort of a skirt, and then this is gonna be the belly, and then she has a top here as well. So I think with something like this, and the hair is falling quite long like this, and we can do all these pieces like that as well. Yeah, okay, so this is looking very nice. This is looking very interesting, even if I am focusing more in the conversation today than in the drawing. This is I'm being very happy with the drawing. This is looking very interesting, very nice. Let's do the boots now for column as well. Some translations his column, some translations his colon. So because the first translation I've seen, it was calling him column, and I had a student as well called like that some years ago. In my mind, it's stuck more like that, okay? But I think this is like when Rob Lucci or Rob Lucci, that at the beginning for me, in my translations, when I was reading, when I was watching it, it was Rob Lucci with R, and then at some point Oda confirmed, no, it's with L, so it's Rob Lucci. So yeah, but I guess this is how, when you are starting watching something, and the impression that it's gonna give you, the first impression it's gonna give you, that is the one that is gonna stay anyway, okay? So for me, it's like this. So we do like this now. So as this Nidhogg, I want to see what type of behavior he is gonna have while transformed. How is he gonna, let's say, be? Because Loki has been introduced as, I think, in my opinion, a very clever character, even wise, in my opinion, in the terms of seeing all that we have seen in the flashback, that we guessed already that, but seeing all of these things, bending, transforming, changing the reality of the things that happens, and taking the blame. You need to be very strong to be able to do something like that. This is, I think, beautiful. This is to protect Elbaf. This is to protect his father's legacy and his father's name and everything. And Loki is a character full of surprises, so I wanna see how he is gonna fight. What is he gonna do? He is so big that you could end up this quite easily. He is gonna just stomp on top of Summers, killing him, Gunko, that is Imu, and the story is done. We don't want to see that, so there is gonna be some sort of transformation. So my next guess here is gonna be that to match such a ginormous character like Loki and ginormous Luffy, that Luffy is quite big now at the moment as well, bigger than the giants, we are gonna have to see the bad guys transform him. Maybe Imu is gonna elongate herself as well, gonna expand herself like a shadow, and they're gonna have to fight a little bit this shadow. We need to see some kind of fire, not because it's a dragon, but because Muspelheim. So we see the previous attack being Niflheim, that is the realm of ice, and then Muspelheim is the one of fire, and when this came together, then Ymir, that Ymir is the creator of everything, was born from those droplets of water that it was melting the ice with the two territories, with these two areas clashing in the gap, in the Ginunga gap. Okay, so I want to see as well. I wanted to draw Loki as well, but I said I don't have yet a clear image of how he's gonna look, how is the body design. He is obviously not. I didn't want him to be the Nidhogg. I prefer him to be the Fenrir because, I'm telling you, because, but I had hints because the story of mythology, okay, because all the lore in mythology. But I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why is because we had a lot of Kaido, a lot of Momo, a lot of Punk Hazard dragons. We had dragons non-stop for sagas and sagas and sagas. And Oda, I didn't want another dragon. I know you are gonna do your special thing and you're gonna give him another twist. You're gonna make him different, so we can enjoy this kind of new type of dragon. This is more like the dragons that we know that they have. It seems like it's gonna be like a wyvern for the image. Maybe it's gonna have the wyvern is the one who has the legs, the posterior legs, and the arms are wings. Okay, like a bat, like in Lord of the Rings, the Nazgul rides. Okay, so those are like wyvern. Okay, the dragon as such, it would be having 4 legs and the wings, that will be 6 limbs in total. Okay, and then you have the oriental type of dragon, like a snake, like that's like Kaido. Okay, having these tiny arms. Okay, so there are different types of dragons in fantasy, and Oda, I guess, wants to touch them all. The dragons that we see as well in Punk Hazard as well are more traditional type of dragons, more European type of dragons, okay? So this one, by the drawing, I would say is a wyvern type of design. Depending of the mythology that you are reading, depending on the game, movie, book that you are reading, they will represent the Nidhogg in one way or in another. In some places as well is being represented like a proper worm with wings, more similar to a Kaido-like, like an oriental type of dragon-like. So I don't know what's gonna be here. Why is painted all in black? I don't know why is that either. And these spikes around him, maybe it's the cape, maybe is some kind of armor at the back. He is very strong with Conqueror's Haki, etc, etc, etc. So I would dare to say that he may be fully coated in Haki as well. That's why he is all dark. The eyes are like flames on flames. For consistency, Oda, maybe I would have liked the eyes to be still covered, because in theory he is blind, no? Or he has the eyes of a demon. He blinded himself. We don't have an explanation about the bandages on the eyes. Okay, so because he has these monstrous eyes, he decides to put this bandage, and he's not showing the eyes that are like a beast already to anyone. But there is no further explanation why he has these eyes. It's because he was linked and destined already to eat this fruit and become the legend of Elbaf, the chosen one if on Elbaf, maybe. So there is, the Ragnar Lothbrok story, that Ragnar is a fictional character, but is supposed to be the father of the kings of the Vikings, of the 7 kings of the Vikings, and the 7 leaders of the Vikings. And the sons, they're supposed to be sons, that they said, oh yes, we were the sons. These were the bosses of these clans, and there was Sigurd, snake in the eye as well, type of character, where he had a problem with the eye, that it was looking a little bit different, a little bit corrupted, let's say. And because of this, we have the references from Loki here, I think, in my opinion. I think Oda is taking that character to do that. As well, I think Oda is taking the concept of Odin, the All-Father Odin, that this is he was basically the boss basically there. He loses one eye. He sacrifices one eye for knowledge, and this knowledge, he has two ravens with him that they fly around all the territories, all the realms, and he's able to see everywhere. And obviously he's playing with the game of Odin, with the concept of the eyes, and as well with Sigurd. Then he's playing with the concept of Odin, and Odin being the father, Loki being the son, and being the character, and being the mischievous, and then with Thor, with the concept of the weaponry, having the hammer and everything. So there is a lot of interesting blends here, like when you are making a collage, and I would love to see Oda's notebooks at some point, like you go into his office, into his studio, and you see how he has sketches, like I do my own sketches, but about One Piece, about notes, how he's mixing realities with mythologies and religions, and how he's creating all of this potpourri, this collage, this mix, this blend of storytelling. This is beautiful. I love it. Fantastic job. I'm gonna be painting the top brown and the skirt as well, a little bit like this. Okay, maybe I go for gold for these pieces. I think they look like gold. I want to go for the cape being white to create a little bit of contrast. And normally these pelts were from animals. Okay, the Vikings would hand wolves, bears, any kind of furry animal that you could find around, and they will skin it and use the pelts for protection, because in that area, in real life, in that area, there is cold, there's snow, there's rain, it is cold, it is freezing, and you need to cover yourself. So very, very interesting point. Now that I'm talking about Vikings a little bit, and I'm talking about these pelts and everything, one moment, I wanted to make a note about something very interesting that we see in the previous episode, that I think I mentioned it in the... I always do a comment in the video, so if you scroll a little bit down, you will see that I have like a mini comment of the video as a starter. And after analyzing the 72 and 73 together, I said, look how Valhalla is this heaven for Vikings, no? When you die as a warrior, you fight and you die, you go into these halls where it's full of your nakamas, basically your colleagues there, and you are feasting, you are eating, you are enjoying life, and then you go to fight. Then you start fighting each other, like, forever. Eating, fighting forever. Valhalla. Not being able to die because you are already dead. The concept of Valhalla is very interesting, okay? So here in One Piece, for example, if you have this Dory, Ambrogi, Domi reverse it together with the rest of the pirates from their crew and everything, the giant pirates and everything. Just imagine for a second that situation where, for whatever reason, there's gonna be some kind of disaster here, okay? There is someone who might die here, one of the main characters, maybe Dory and Brogy. There is someone who needs to suffer some consequences of being attacked by God's Knights and Imu. Okay, so Imu is the top of the top at the moment in the world government. So we need to see danger. So it makes sense for me that someone suffers the consequences of whatever is gonna be happening here. Okay, so for me, the concept of Valhalla with Dory and Brogy, that we may be sad if they are not be able to come back, okay, to normal, and they are forever fighting. We introduce them in Little Garden, Dorian Broggy are fighting non-stop for years and years and years, okay? And that is Valhalla, okay, as well for them. They are in limbo. They are disconnected from the world. They don't have news from the world. They don't know anything about Elbaf. They are just locked in, fighting forever. Drinking, they stop to eat, and then they carry on fighting. That is Valhalla, basically. When Oda started One Piece, he always said that his reason for starting this is because he loved Bikey the Viking, and he wanted to do something like that for himself as well, okay, basically. So, very interesting, very important, and I wouldn't be surprised if this may happen, okay? If now Oda comes and says, oh, you know, there are some characters in Domi Reversi that I am controlling, for example, and because I am controlling them, I can manipulate them, okay? And like we've seen in the past. And then maybe there are other characters in here that they don't want to be coming back, okay? It gives me, I don't think it's gonna happen, okay, but I just want to say it because it's a thought I have in mind right now. I'm gonna say a spoiler about Dragon Ball. If you haven't watched Dragon Ball, just skip a little bit of the video. In Dragon Ball, we have the character, one of the main characters called Vegeta. And Vegeta, he is basically a bad guy at the beginning, and then even he's like a sour person, he ends up being like a good guy, okay? Helping the bad guys with Goku, with Krillin, etc., with Piccolo, etc. There is one moment in the story that when he's good already, that he is... he allows himself to be controlled by Babidi. I think it was Babidi. Or BBD. I don't remember. But he allows himself to be controlled because he missed the fighting and he wanted to fight. He thought he lost that pride that he had at the beginning of the story. So he allows himself to be controlled. That is crazy, but we have seen that, and it's shocking. It is good for the story, okay? So I wouldn't discard the idea that maybe Luffy, with Bonnie or with whatever is going to happen at the end, because we've seen so many things going on at the moment that we don't know what's going to happen at the end with this. Maybe they are able to de-transform everyone, so return everyone to normal, but Dorian Broggy. And Dorian Broggy, in Domi Reversi form, they say, no way, just drop us in Little Garden again, and we will keep fighting forever. We cannot die. This is what we want. This is Valhalla. This is heaven for us. And we got, we grew too old now. We just want to fight. So, would you like that? Would you like that? Because for me, I find it interesting. I find it interesting because they are not being punished. If they are able to get released from the shackles of Imu, but still be transformed into some sort of immortal, okay? I don't know how that would happen, but they could achieve Valhalla with the Viking concept, and that is interesting. For the storytelling sake, I find that interesting. I don't know you. I don't know if maybe you like as well. I'm gonna do the hairpin for column here, like this. Okay. Well, I don't know you, but for me, as a Pirates fan, as a Vikings fan, I think I would like to see this, to be honest. I would like to see how this is happening, okay? So I'm gonna paint the vines a little bit green. I think they are gonna be transparent. I think the power of Saint Summers, it is invisible. it looks to me that it's like some sort of translucid material that Oda is trying to achieve, but for the sake of now, I think it can be good if I try to do it like this. I like it like this. I don't know what you think, but I like it like this. This type of bracelet that she is wearing as well here. Okay. I want to add some dark tones like this. Do a little bit of shadow maybe here and here. I think a little bit of yellow as well can go here to the skirt that she's wearing, and to the boots, and to the top like this. Okay. Very nice. Very emotional. Very emotional. I missed being a little bit emotional in One Piece. Sometimes I reread the beginning of the story because it gives me more the feeling of One Piece. Now, yes, I'm enjoying it a lot, and we are having a lot of conclusion from different parts of the story. But the beginning of the story for One Piece, the beginning of the story for me is much more emotional. I can feel it more. Okay, I don't know what is your opinion, but for me, maybe because I read it when I was younger, when I was a kid, I read it, and maybe because of that, I don't know. I'm gonna just jump into a little bit of fine liner again, do 0.3 this time, so we can make this design pop a little bit. Okay, so we have like this. This is these horns into the Viking helmet. That, by the way, Vikings in theory they didn't wear horns in the helmets. This is something Hollywood made. This is something, if you are Viking historian here, please jump into the comment section if I am mistaken, but I believe this is a misconstructed thing by the movies that we watch, by Hollywood, by everywhere, to create it in a way that they are, maybe cooler or more dangerous or this and that. But in theory, they did not have horns in the helmets. Okay, so let's do these spikes here. Today it may be a little bit longer than usual video, but I'm enjoying a lot. I like this. I like the drawing I picked today as well. We didn't have a drawing of Ripley, but I wanted to draw her and how she is very big as well, like a giant. I don't want to draw the giants standing if I can avoid it, and I done Dorian Broggie and a couple of them as well standing, and I realized that I think I prefer more to do like a pose like here, like this is very nice for me, because there's something happening here. I was thinking about it for a while as well, that I would like to do maybe some of the drawings like they are doing an action as well instead of maybe standing. Depend on the drawing, I will have to see how I feel. We need to put blood here. Okay, we need to put blood everywhere because she's in pain. Let's do all of this here as well a little bit on the floor. They are kneeling there on the floor. So we're adding just some final touches because we finished everything, but I just want to make sure that we see all of these parts like this. And like this. Okay. Are you enjoying the One Piece at the moment like me? Are you curious to see how we're gonna finish all this story? Who is your favorite character, for example, right now in the Elbaf saga? I am enjoying a lot with the whole story with Loki. I didn't expect to have such a flashback in the middle of this, unrelated to what's happening here, even if Domi Reversi was involved. Rox is a very cool character. I enjoyed a lot that with Gold Roger and the God Valley incident, the situation there and everything. I'm enjoying a lot this. I am thinking, because all of this passed with Saint Summers, he needs to get out of commission here. We need to get rid of him here. I want to believe as well, maybe Robin may be the one doing this. I have this feeling, like the girl. Maybe Gaban is gonna show up at the end and he's gonna kind of give the last slice, like he's cutting a cake or something. He's gonna cut him for good, because this image, the importance of Column being the first one, Ripley coming and being the first one to sacrifice herself as well, by seeing all of these things, where with the past as well that Rayleigh had with Summers, with the Shaggy story, like maybe this is a Goldie Roger crew type of business, and Gaban is the one who is gonna have to finish him. I would like it, yes, just to think about how scared he was when he saw him a couple of episodes ago, before he fell. Well, he jumped basically to hell. That was crazy. So yeah, let's do. This is gonna be the other leg. Okay, this is one knee, and that is the other knee here, and this is the belt. Okay, and this one, paint it as well for the gaps here in between. I think we got it, to be honest. I think we got it here. Looking very nice, very nice. I enjoy today the drawing and the talk. It's been more, I've been drawing a little bit more slower, talking maybe a little bit more slower as well, being more focused in what's happening in the story, my opinion as well about the story, and that's always interesting, always good. Just careful, I don't want to do this in black. I want to leave it like a tattoo here. Okay, we have the hair falling here, and it falls here as well, here in the middle. Okay, some details. She's shaking. This means shaking these lines, because she's in pain, but she's not gonna say it, because the pain of losing the kid, the pain of the kid dying, is greater than all of these spikes and all of these things going on here. Very emotional, I'm telling you. I swear to you, this was this was crazy. This was crazy. We need a little bit more of blood here, that we are gonna do with black as well. I like the manga design for this type of moments like this with the black, okay, so we don't have so much red around like this. I think we are finished here. Okay, so I think we finished for today. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video, you enjoyed the drawing, the analysis of this episode, and what we've been talking here today. I'm gonna sign. Okay, here, this is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23. You can set as you want, and this is the Mandrago's Cave. I hope you had a nice time here, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.